Hello, my name is Maggie Radomski, and today I'm going to be presenting Paul Cezanne. He was a French post-impressionist painter in the 17th century. He created images of still lifes, portraits, and landscapes. He was described as shy and has a history going back to when he was 10 years old of art. He attended multiple schools and rebelled against his father when he would try to get Cezanne to study other topics. Based on this love for art, Cezanne painted things that he thought were beautiful and even created a series of paintings to paint them over again in different lightings and moods. Next slide. Mont Saint Victor is one of Cezanne's most famous paintings. Cezanne differs from other Impressionists because his paintings are mostly simple in terms of meaning. They usually revolve around his place of residence, which I'll get into. He used heavy, aggressive brushstrokes to create texture on his landscapes, and some people even thought the degree of how aggressive these brushstrokes were was considered violent. This painting belongs to a series with other paintings conveying different moods and lightings. In this painting, it shows a lighter/calmer version of the mountain and less heavy brushstrokes. And as you can see, there's an example of a different mood right there where you can just tell the mood's more aggressive because the brushstrokes are super aggressive and heavy. Next slide. The Card Players is also a series of paintings done by Cezanne. This painting shows two men at a table sitting calmly, fully immersed in their card game. Something interesting about this painting is the fact that in the 17th century, alcohol and money were very popular, and drunken gamblers as well, but in this painting, these men look calm, and no money is seen, and no alcohol is being drank, just an unopened wine bottle. The shading on both their coats, I think, gives a good balance to this painting, and the color contrast is also pretty unique how everything is kind of matching up, and the mood kind of the colors in this just shows that it was pretty calm, no drunken gambling going on, and they're just head down, fully immersed in their game. Next slide. The Turning Road of Montjehout is a landscape painting done by Cezanne. This painting shows Cezanne's strong tendency to use heavy brushstrokes in his painting, usually just as landscapes. This picture also shows variety. While most of the picture is nature and aggressive strokes on the canvas, Cezanne uses variety to implement a very fine/lined and evident building into the painting. The subject of most of his landscape paintings were centered on a province he lived in called the Aixen. I find this picture to be very calming, even though some find the brushstrokes to be violent. I think the colors that he used here were really calming. I really like the green of the nature on the picture. Next slide. The Smoker. The Smoker is a portrait done by Cezanne. It shows a man in a seat, one arm on the table next to him, and a pipe in his mouth. The man has highlights on his face indicating that the mood is happier than it seems, because from first glance it kind of looks like he's moping a little bit. But he's just calmly smoking on his table. There's also a very small bit of still life on the counter behind the man, also showing scale. The sizes of these still life fruits are comparing to the man and his pipe, and also those bottles behind. You can tell the actual size of these. There is a good color blend, as most of this picture matches other parts of the painting. In the 17th and 18th century, pipes were popular to smoke out of, and usually if you saw somebody smoking, they would be smoking those little pipes. Next slide. This is The Seated Peasant. It's a portrait done by Cezanne of a man sitting in a chair with an upset look on his face. This man's clothing and face is highly detailed, and the room has a dusk/dark lighting to it. Cezanne was huge on lighting depicting mood, and it is said that this man is likely one of the workers on Cezanne's family estate, the Aixen province. And the colors in this kind of match up with each other, just to make it look, he's wearing this brown suit, and he's sitting on like a yellow brownish stool, and then you can see the little shading in the back of the yellow. So Cezanne kind of does that a lot, where he color blends things. And emotion is clearly involved in this picture. Back then, being a peasant was pretty common because it was just really hard to be successful. Next slide. In conclusion, all of Cezanne's paintings are mainly simple, with not much of a deep meaning, just Cezanne finding beauty in art. Cezanne likes to bring out emotions and mood through different lightings and styles. That is something he is really big in. You can always tell the mood of a painting based on the colors and the lightings, and something that might look sad, he can make it actually have a deeper, happier meaning, just conveying the lighting. Cezanne was fully committed to the long process of painting for most of his life and found a lot of joy in that, considering he pretty much painted everything he saw and everything around him. So, yeah, and then here are my references, and thank you for watching.